course, it's time to serve up a little bit more of Flavor Profile's family meal. I'm Flavor Pro Matt. This is a place where we take the time to share the table with our friends in the gathering, talk about what sparks joy in all our lives, not just the cardboard we crack every single day. So, welcome to the table. We can unwind before the doors open on our next post, on our next stream, or the next convention where we gather yet again. It's a place to share what we love together. I met Robert the same way that many of us meet in the gathering. It was at an airport baggage claim in Atlanta with Misha. If that's not the start of a friendship, I really don't know what is. After that, though, he was just a regular fixture at hotel breakfasts in Vegas, despite staying at the hotel across the street. So, Script, Robert, welcome to the table. Hope you grab some free eggs and pancakes on your way over tonight.
And tell them I was staying in your room. Yes.
It
I
works every time.
It worked every time. No one had a singular clue I stole breakfast. It was wonderful.
I think the tell was how you'd walk up to, they'd always lock the doors until a certain time in the morning to prevent people from coming in. And you'd walk up and pat your pockets like you were coming in from your car and like, oh,
Yeah.
I left my room key upstairs. And you go. Next thing you know, we're all sitting having breakfast every day.
Yes, it was incredible. I would recommend it. Just don't get caught. I didn't get caught. I also don't know if they cared.
I really don't think they care, but at the end of the day, Yog and I are always going to say, no, that one's with us.
Yeah, correct. I also think that our first real time meeting was not only at that baggage claim, but then I drove you and Misha to wherever you guys were staying. So
Yeah.
you were just like in a car with a new stranger, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Even though like by proxy, Misha vetted me to you or where
and vice versa.
Anyways. Yeah.
Just get in the van, kid. It's fine. You didn't even offer me free candy and I dove right in.
No, I offered you a free ride to the airport, which is so much more like financially incredible to not have to Uber from the airport.
Yeah, it was so easy too. And that was for what? Cool stuff down in Atlanta like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. 2024.
Yeah, God, it feels like it was yesterday, but also ages ago.
God,
I thought I could measure time in magic sets at one point, and I realized that
not anymore.
Time has no meaning then at that point.
At this seven sets a year, it's so hard to do that. Mm-hmm. Back when we got like three like core sets a year, when you're like, okay, so 2012, 2013 was Return to Ravnica. Mm-hmm. And then like an ancillary product happened, but your main like stick in the ground for where you were was Return to Ravnica, followed by 2013, 2014 was Theros. And then the next set of years was Cons of Tarkir.
I never got to experience Magic that way. I was in during Revised, Dark, tail end of Antiquities when I started and played through right after Ice Age, which many people will often say, yeah, I quit after Ice Age 2. And I don't even remember the timelines on things. It was just, oh, hey, a new set showed up at the store and my mom dropped me off for a few hours with a few bucks to buy packs.
Honestly, the comparison feels like we're figuring it out versus we've figured it out, right? But which now that you're so back, you could do that. I wouldn't.
No.
This was 7 sets a year, just like, I'm not.
I finally hit the point of, you know what? I like this set. I'm going to buy some packs. Or, I forgot about this set. I'm just going to read it on Scryfall and maybe buy singles.
Yeah.
I think 2025 was going to be the year of, okay, every set, one bundle, one collector booster. And that lasted like maybe half a set before I'm like, maybe I'll get a few more.
Like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, like, oh, these are shiny. Oh, I like this one.
Really shiny, actually. Little numbers? Oh.
Oh, don't get me started on those. Or my favorite is, I've never heard of this card before. I was like, how have you never heard of this card before? So now I got to go buy like as many as possible for every deck because I can't buy one and swap it between like a normal person.
No, I am the same exact way. I'm like, why do I have 17 Verdant Catacombs? Well, I am free to make every mana base and all of my decks very good if I wanted to. And also, I played Modern, so 4 of important things was really nice to have. And then like, I want to keep this deck together, but what if I built a different modern deck? What if I bought 4 more Watery Graves?
I'm a commander player mostly. I haven't gotten into 60 cards since playing at the picnic table in high school.
Mhm.
But I buy singles like I'm a modern player because I've got to get, play set for the 4 decks I'm running, especially on land bases, all the utility lands.
Yep.
It's like, oh, this is now in this art. I might as well get that one too.
Well, it sounds like you might have the land base to make up at least the that part of a modern deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot more than just that.
Well, you need like 4 of this, 4 of that, like especially depending whatever you want to play.
The similar to I was telling our last guest, Drew Show and Tell to You, we were joking about he was trying to keep up with standard, but his wallet couldn't. And I told him the advice of my friend Greg, which is never let your credit card be the 101st in your commander deck. I feel if you're playing a 60 card format, you need a play set of credit cards at that point in
It
certain.
it definitely can end up feeling like that. Or how it's worked out for me is the way that I have been buying product, and the luck of the polls that I have had have led me where like anytime I want to build a modern deck, if it's in the colors that I like, I'm like $150 away from filling the deck out. My current modern deck, which is 8 Shadow, I think the cards that I needed was like I think $128. And then I had 8 Shadow. It was great. I'm casting Death Shadow in 2026. This is awesome. I'm also casting Moon Shadow, and I'm also casting Psychic Frog because that's the actual good
I mean, you can't go wrong with Psychic Frog. It's just a little guy.
card's insane. The
It
card's actually
really
so
is.
cracked in half.
But those are the best kind of ones to have.
And
So,
I got my old border playset all set.
so talking about just sort of all these sets through over the years and the old block system and old borders, for example, is a great segue. I like asking everyone, what's your foundation? What brought you to Magic? A person, a place, a thing?
Let me let me recount to you the very normal, almost boring story of how I got into Magic. It's incredibly average because I know some people that, and I love it for them when they're like, "Hey, Magic saved my life," and they're like, "This is phenomenal. This is like a piece of cardboard is like very shiny in a doorway, and you walk to it and you open the
Hmm.
doorway and everything's better." I love that. That I love to hear those stories. Not everyone has that story. I am at my best friend's house right down the road from where I currently live with him. His name's Austin, my buddy Paul, and I think our we're just like 4 fellas in a group
Hmm.
all together, lived on the same side of the road in the same neighborhood on the same road, and we just like all would just go and hang out in the basement
Hmm.
of my buddy Austin's house, and it was a summer evening, and we might have been playing Kirby Air Ride City Mode, incredible. Um, and we broke off to just like parallel play before like that was what it was called. We just
Hmm.
brought our laptops, hung out in the same thing, and maybe didn't do the same thing.
Hmm.
But I've been watching like this crew of people on YouTube that started playing Magic on Duels of the Planeswalker in
Hmm.
2012, that old PC game.
Yeah.
And I was like, Paul has played Yu-Gi-Oh and played Yu-Gi-Oh competitively. I looked at him and I went, Paul. He was like, yeah. And I was like, "You want to go to Walmart and buy Magic cards?" And he was like, "Fuck it." And then we went to Walmart and bought Magic cards.
It's like when I'd go to Walmart and I was younger and it'd be like the middle of the night in college or whatnot, you'd be just wandering around reenacting lightsaber battles on the kids aisle.
Mm-hmm.
You instead are going and, for all intents and purposes, starting a revolution in your life.
Correct. So it was a very quiet beginning. Um, and we went, he bought the 60 card Boros precon with Boros
Hmm.
Reckoner on the front, and I bought the Simic synthesis with Fathom Mage on the front. And thus I was born a scumbag in the Simic colors. Like, you know.
I started with pre-Simic when it was just blue-green.
Yeah.
I told the story last episode of, I cracked a Force of Nature. Terrible card, amazing art when you're like super young.
But yeah, sick.
And then it's like, okay, monsters, merfolk, flyers, let's go. Meanwhile, My friend Jason across the table is this full of evil machinations, and it's just mono black nightmares.
So good, yeah. So we then proceeded to crack those open, crack our packs because you got 2 packs with those intro
Hmm.
decks, which was sick. I opened my first rare I ever opened, and this is a like a love letter to how hard Magic is, right?
Hmm.
I opened a Godless Shrine in my first pack. It's not
Ooh,
in my colors, right?
yeah.
So, but that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, why the fuck am I paying 2 life when I have these lands that just come in and do it anyways? Right? And
Yep.
Godless Shrine at that point it's a dual land. It is smack dab new for standard, doing the good work like it did before when it was first printed in
Hmm.
2006, 6, 7, 8 for the first set of Ravnica.
Hmm.
And I was just like, this sucks. I can't put it in my deck. I have to pay 2 life to use this thing, or it comes in tapped. I just have basic lands. And so I thought it was trash, but no, it's the maybe one of the best cards you could open at a gate crash at that point in
Yeah.
time. That's probably not true, but
It's
um
still a card that's going to give you so much utility,
but yeah.
longevity. The way that lands evolved over the years were wild. I left for 25 years and I came back. Um, the first kind of like mythic, I think it was the first like fancy card I pulled out of a pack. It was a mythic, was Vorinclex. So of course I'm going to be a monster again. But I remember opening lands that all say enters tapped. And I'm like, why would I play a land that enters tapped when, again, I have a land that I can just play, until I slowly realized, like, oh, wait, there's a purpose and a timing and everything else. It's not
Yeah.
sitting around the kitchen table, the picnic table, tapping unsleeved with rubber bands and Ziploc bags. It's, oh,
Yeah.
there's a little bit more to it. Timing is actually a function of the game.
And so it's just a testament to how hard Magic is for new players
Hmm.
when someone that has any sense of the game is like, if someone in the car shop watched me open Godless Shrine, they're like, oh sick, and I'd be like, it's trash, and then they would then inform me why it's good. And I don't actually know how quickly I turn the corner on, like, oh, ooh, actually those are really good.
Hmm. Once
Eventually I did.
once I
Now I
started kind of learning a little bit more and relearning how things had changed, it was eye opening.
but yeah, like,
Then you get sucked in and you don't want to leave.
no, certainly not. And I haven't really left Magic. Um
Don't.
so I well, yeah. I got that's why I have like tens and twenties of fetch lands and shock lands and
Hmm.
triomes, because I've collected in the manner of that's what I've opened or what I've bought or
Hmm.
what I knew I had enough of but still bought anyways. And you know who's never gonna be upset in a trade binder when they see shocklands? No one's gonna be upset, because those will always and forever be useful to literally anyone except for vintage players, because it's actual garbage in vintage. You would never play a shockland.
I think
Or in
one of these
legacy, really.
drawers behind me that has dual colored lands and everything, there each one has a section of random shocks from all the reprints and the fancy arts. It's kind of like a good quick, hey, I can use this, or hey, I can trade this in for something else.
Yeah, I got I have binders for colors, and the land binder is pink.
Oh, bright, flashy.
Yes. And on the back are OG Tron lands.
The classics. You can never
Yeah.
go wrong with those.
Look at that. Just I think there's like
They're so
14,
pretty.
there's like 10 catacombs in those 2 spots, because some of them are in my modern deck and some of them are in CDH decks, because like, why not? I have them. I'll
It's
play them.
funny that for all the thousands of cards that are out there, we all go back to a finite, well, still probably in the low thousands, but a finite selection of cards
Yeah.
that are just always going to bring joy, always going to bring happiness. We're going to be excited when we see new art, new flavor text pop up.
Like Edges of Eternity
Hmm.
had just all the lands reprint, and I was like, give me all of these, actually. I
Oh,
want all of them.
I wanted every single version of it, the posters,
Yes.
the retrofuturism, the sort of longing with the characters. That
Didn't
was one of my favorite sets.
Didn't I love DOE. Didn't pull the Ancient Tomb.
Mhm.
Not that I needed a 6th one, but I have 4
But
for
you did.
Legacy and 1 in a CDH deck. Like, what if I had 1 more? What if it was beautiful?
Message me and remind me after this. I'll double check if I have an extra. Cheers.
Okay.
It'll be like a long due extra thanks for that ride from the airport all those years ago.
I appreciate you think that ride was $140. It certainly was not, never will be.
I have a philosophy with cards, and that's at the end of the day, it's fancy cardboard, and I might have the same card in a different printing. It does the same thing, but
Mhm.
if a certain one brings someone in my life joy or even a stranger,
Yeah.
like it's theirs. I'd rather see it get played. And I have all the cards behind me in the
I'm
catalog.
so jealous of that fucking catalog. God, it's so sick. They're so expensive.
This was a lucky find.
Oh, Facebook
It's
Marketplace?
No, it was at a place called Community Forklift up in Maryland
Okay.
that does a lot of reclaim materials, like nice quality, fun things, like huge facility. And this came originally from the Smithsonian.
Hell yeah, that's so sick. That's so sick.
It has like the old labels in it, and I'm just gonna do it. And we sat and we scanned all the cards together and organized them and sorted them and then just filled it up a drawer at a time.
That's incredible. I see him all the time on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, man, I just don't have 15 to $4,000 for any of these at any given time. They're so expensive.
And this one was a lot cheaper than that.
Yeah, well, I'm so
Well,
jealous.
I think back a lot. I'm a big kind of music fan, and I remember reading articles about Jack White when he was starting up Third Man Records, and he wanted to get back into pressing more records and trying to set up his own little place to do it. And it turned out that the number of record presses in the world were finite. No one made them. And it was all these old machines, and pressing companies were hiring specialists, just machinists to come in and retool all the parts to just keep them up and running. So when he opened up Third Man Records, the printing press in Detroit, he started making presses again. We need someone to just come in and start making card catalogs.
Yeah.
Next big business venture, listeners. Anyone who does that, licensed to print money.
Yeah, correct. Especially to all the like dumbass cardboard collectors.
Mhm.
God.
Like find a woodworker who'll make one, or
Mhm.
like scour all the local libraries if they're renovating, shutting down, moving to new locations. Hey, you need that anymore?
No, it's mine. I'll take it. I'll move it myself. Take it off your hands for free.
If I ever get rid of my collection and just go small, this one's yours. It just means you got to drive up here and hang out for a couple days.
No.
Yeah, we're going to take you out and cook for you and
Oh, it'd be
play lots of
terrible.
magic, and you're going to see all the DC area friends.
Yeah, hell yeah, that'd be so
The
sick.
horror, you should just come up regardless, but
Yeah, I know.
that's besides the point. So we talked about your foundation of getting into magic. You have a wonderful little series, not just to mention the work you do with the Super Friends group, which I'll talk
Mhm.
about in a minute too, but Spellify
Yeah.
and the infamous slap of a card heard round the world that starts off every video. There we go. That is the move. You are the knower of many cards, as it were.
Yeah, sometimes it's like too much. Like I don't need to know that that's what that card does.
But you
Although
find out.
let me tell you it's so much harder now. Like I think everyone will find that when they start, especially when you start when you're getting 3 main sets a year, you're
Mhm.
getting so you get your 3 sets, you get your like here's your 4 to 5 commander decks that come out in November, full stop, and then like your master set. That was it. It's so and then now we're here where we have commanders decks for almost every set. We have 7 sets a year. We have maybe also a master set, and then the how much knowledge you gain and the time you need to take to gain that is so much more like just you need more to
Mhm.
make it. So I can tell when I'm getting into like I don't know cards anymore, or like or the only cards I know are the cards that matter in legacy and modern, or standard sometimes. But majority of that, like, am I gonna know what this thing does from Return to Ravnica? The answer is probably yes. I opened a lot of Return to Ravnica, and also that was the Return to Ravnica block was the whole year. And now it's like we don't even get blocks. We have 7 sets a year, and then how many Captain America cards just came out in one set? Too many. Too many. I
Some
I
better
did
than others.
I did the math, like, the amount of legendaries that were printed in 2013, do you have a guess? This includes reprints.
What sets came out in 2013? I was out of
That
Magic.
would have been Return to Ravnica block and a master set.
Number of legendaries,
That was including reprints in the
including
commander decks.
reprints.
And yeah.
I'd want to say like a really low number, like 45,
I
50.
think if I remember correctly, it was 63.
Okay.
And in just our main sets from Return to Ravnica, Gatecrash, and Dragon's Maze, we had 20
Mhm.
between all 3 sets. And then I did the math on whenever I did this math was OTJ, Bloomborough, and whatever the hell came after Outlaws. Duskmourn?
Duskborn.
Just between those 3, so we had 20 in 3 sets in
Mhm.
2012, 2013, and just between those 3 sets, it was like 400. Like, not between the 3 sets, between
Mhm.
all the sets printed that year, it was like 400, but between all those sets, it was like double the number
Oh
of
my gosh.
it would double the number of all printed legendary creatures in 2013. It's just like absurd. It is a fire hydrant for commander players. I think it is actively too much information.
Mhm.
Uh,
I know I can't keep up with it, and I am someone who just absorbs things. Magic slows me down so much. Trying
there's
to keep up with previews, going through Scryfall. I joked earlier about I've never seen this card before, and everyone's like, "This has been a staple for 20 years." It's like it's new to
Well,
me.
it did different for you. You were gone for so long.
Yeah.
The other side of that coin is that we as commander players have an incredible amount of agency to express ourselves because we have that amount of cards. You just have to take the time to find the card. It wasn't like, oh, I have 20 cards to look through for the entire year if I just want like a standard playable legendary creature. Instead, it's like this is an uncommon legendary creature that doesn't have any flavor text.
Mhm. Yep.
It's like
Or the
uh,
random common legendaries that come up every now and again
every now and then, yeah. So it's
that
just
have
like
a high cost, but somehow a decent payoff.
the the ratio is just so insane from what was like 10 years ago, now 13 years ago to like 2 years ago. 63 for the whole year, and just in the 3 sets, like 150.
So, as someone who plays some
Insanity.
of the more meta focused formats to include CDH, do you have a process when you're looking at sort of the landscape to identify, like, how do I break this? How do I counter this with all the information? Or do you go off of that commander route of, you know what, I like the vibe of this?
So for me, for CDH, I really like Najila.
Hmm.
Uh there's a lot of ways to win with Najila using different combos that just end up in the same place as infinite combats. You also don't even have to cast Najila to win because you are a 5 colored good stuff pile, and so you have your brain freeze loops, you have your Thassa Demcon, and then the other one, Tainted Pact. So
Hmm.
there's like at least 6 different ways to win between having Najila and not. 7 because of breakfast combo. So it is utilitarian and it is harder to pilot because of that. Because you need to look at your hand, you need to look at what colors you can fetch versus the color of cards in your hand, so it can make mulliganing very, very necessary as a skill. Regardless, mulliganing is a really important skill to shape. And I think that if you're in a casual setting,
Hmm.
you should just mulligan. You
Hmm.
should just do it. If you're like, this is 2 lands and like all my spells are 4+ mana, mulligan. You are in a casual setting. There's literally no reason for you to not get used to going down a card.
Hmm.
Um,
That's one of my favorite things about going to pre releases and suddenly forcing myself to think differently in that setting of it's okay to go down one. And sometimes I've had to go down two
yeah.
just to
And
make it work.
not to say that you have to like force this rule upon you and your play group, but when it comes to being a better Magic player, I know mulliganing is something that I would say a majority of the casual players are very afraid of. And
Mhm.
I get it. I've been this is like this is an okay 6, but there's a better 5 out there. And then I go to 5 and I'm like, I should have just fucking kept my
Yeah.
6.
There are lessons in that. It's kind of the actions have consequences for gameplay, and you can learn from it. You never know that going to a horrible 5 after having an okay 6 could still lead to something good. And with most of the formats, you're focused so much on accelerating card draw that you'll
Mhm.
get back up pretty quickly, I'd assume.
Yeah. The other thing that I was gonna say is that sometimes you're just never punished, right?
Mhm.
Every now
Yeah.
and then, you're just never punished. The other thing that I often tell people, and I don't think they like to listen to me when I say it, is that when you're going to mulligan, don't look at the top card. You will hurt
Mhm.
yourself more often than not
Mhm.
because the land was on top.
Mhm.
You were like, this is a 2-hand land.
Mhm.
What if I draw a land? I'm set. I think I'm gonna ship it. And then they put the cards on bottom, they look at the top, and then they're just like so frustrated. Like,
Mhm.
why did I do that? It was there. You didn't know
Yeah.
that.
No.
It's Schrodinger's card. And now
Yeah.
you've hurt your own feelings.
Until you look at it, it is every card in your deck.
Yeah, it has every name, and it's 99% of the time, if it has every card name, it's not the card you need.
Mhm.
Uh, but
No,
I
it's
tell
it's a
people not
good
to look,
lesson.
and they do anyways. And I'm like, how many times are you gonna hurt your feelings until you learn just to not look? It's not worth it. It feels awful almost every time, and that comes largely from the years I spent playing Modern, where like mulliganing is like also just so ferociously important in that format and how it's changed to be so fast. Um, Speed of formats is also, I think, very warped in casual players' eyes, and I think they look at the like, turbo decks of any given format, and they're like, I don't want to play that format; it's too fast. And I'm like, I can't tell you how many legacy games I played that like, dog, we play for 30 minutes, not
Mhm.
shit happened,
Yeah.
and people are like, legacy's fast. And I'm like, yeah, I guess no,
You never know how fast a game's gonna play out between a more casual pod and a pro game. It's that randomness of what you're gonna draw next. Did it all flow in the right
yeah.
Order?
Like
And
I've
what's
watched
happening on the table?
I like Bosch and Roll
Mhm.
and 3B University are like
Mhm.
the two content creators that I will actively watch their content while or listen to while I'm working. And like Doomsday is a deck that wants to do the thing on turn 1 or turn 2. And I've watched Doomsday just not do anything for 7 straight turns in Legacy, and I'm like, this format's not that fast. You guys are I feel like the people are just overinflating that it's fast, I don't want to play it. I
Mhm.
don't get any playtime. And I'm like, you want to go play Modern and I get to play maybe 4 games in the time it takes a
Mhm.
casual commander game to maybe end. I'm like,
Mhm.
this is great. And I'm also only shuffling 60 cards. This is
Mhm.
sick.
It's almost a shared format of game memory in that one person said, "Oh, these games last forever," and some of these ideals just get kind of shared and perpetuated when, just give it a try. But you know what?
Correct.
If you don't wanna give it a try too, that's fine too.
You also don't have to, but it's more so like the idea that any format that's not casual commander is fast is wrong.
Mhm. No, fully agree. I've even had just random games at pre-release that just seem to drag on, and you go back afterwards when it's done, you look at the bottom of your deck just out of happenstance, like,
No,
if
there's
this
everything I
were
needed.
completely
Yeah.
reversed,
Yeah.
this would have been a much more entertaining match.
Like I have definitely gone to time in modern recently more often than not. And I'm like, yes, you assume that everything is like turn 3 or turn 4. I was talking to Andrew from Sideboard Therapy,
Mhm.
and he was like, it's kind of a fast deck. It's supposed to win on like turn 2 or 3. And I'm like, it's supposed to.
Mhm.
It's not gonna.
Yeah,
I can almost guarantee you that
nothing is written.
when you play against me, I'm just gonna have hand disruption or removal and gonna
Mhm.
make your game drag ass.
Yep, it's so true, and at the end of the day, I mean, does time really matter or exist?
Not currently. It didn't like at 2020, and it just still doesn't.
I think we're still in the next phase of 2020 some days, so it
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter at all. But Going on a different kind of journey through things that are timeless, you are quite the wizard when it comes to silver ball games and pinball.
It even
Oh,
says so.
pinball wizard and a winner at that.
Yes.
So I need another foundational story here. I know that you are a huge fan, amateur, semi-pro historian of the format. You honestly were moving a bunch of old cabinets of games this afternoon, even. What led you to it?
So there is a much different story from my Magic inception to when I like consciously like synapses started firing for pinball. My dad grew up, he's born in 59, so he grew up in like the heyday for
Mm-hmm.
arcades, in like the first time and then the second time there was arcade
Mm-hmm.
heydays, because the technology just like caused another boom for
Yeah.
arcades.
So much technology developed out of arcade games and pinball, especially through the
Yes.
70s into the 80s.
So he would go to the arcades and he would spend his coins and play pinball machines. And then he was walking, I think, through his office at, I believe this is a company no longer, but a company called Trionics.
Mm-hmm.
Great name for
A
a
fantastic name.
fucking tech company. So
It
sick.
sounds like a rival from a Neutron sequel.
Yeah, yeah. And he was passing by a cork board where you put, you know, ad cards up and
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and he's passing by, he looks and he sees for sale 2 pinball machines. And it was the first time it had ever crossed his mind I could just own them.
You could own it and not have to spend any more
Yes,
money playing.
correct. So he took the paper down, called, went to wherever this fellow was in New Hampshire, and picked up a Bally, late 70s Bally called Paragon, and
Oh,
a early 70s called Lady Luck. Is super sick electromechanical, or EM, so it has the reels
yeah.
that tick in the back instead of the
Yeah.
digital.
I
Where
was
you
playing a
played
Lady Luck recently
where you
at a
played
place.
21 against the machine.
Yeah.
We had that game. We had both of those games.
You
He
got
got the
two of
one
the
for free.
classics.
He got one for free because it didn't work. The Paragon worked, Lady Luck didn't work. He got it working, and I remember playing blackjack against the pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Luck is
It,
fine.
it's fun because
Paragon,
of the mini game aspect
yeah.
to it.
Paragon, however, is an
Paragon's an
incredible.
all-time.
It's an all-time classic. It's also an incredible competition machine.
Mm-hmm.
That game is mean. That game will see you down and thus kick you.
Mm-hmm.
And incredible fantasy art on Paragon
Mm-hmm.
too, with that fucking chimera creature on there,
Yeah.
and then that lady that's like probably drawn like a little weird with her side that doesn't really bend that way. It's all right. It's fantasy art.
It was
It's
it
still
was the
incredible.
style of the time. It was either
Yes.
it was on the side of a van with airbrush, or it was on the back of a pinball machine.
Yeah. So he purchased those in the 80s before either me or my sister were born.
Extreme close up for
Too
that
much
story.
of me. I talk with my hands, and this I need to just there's a way to disable it, and I just haven't. I'm just so lazy.
I'm waiting for the dramatic push of what's going to come from this.
Yeah, what's
He
going to
got
come
these
from?
in the 80s, and
Yeah, and he kept them, and then I kept them. So we moved to Georgia after the divorce, and my dad now has a house that has more room for more of his toys, because he was like, I'm just going to die with the most toys. And I'm like, that's a great idea,
yeah,
actually.
no shame in that.
So
Be happy and you do you.
As we are living here, we are now no longer in like poor down east Maine. We moved from a town that was like huge news. We got our first gas station, which means we get our first traffic light. We came from basically nowhere. And then he got a job through someone he used to work with at Hewlett Packard down here. We moved. They paid for the move. We ended up in a house that could facilitate more room for growth and toys. And throughout the early double aughts, he was purchasing pinball machines that he had played growing up and then made them his. And it wasn't until I was like 18
Mhm.
that the synapse fired in a context of like, these things are fucking cool. What the
Yeah.
fuck? We just have these. These are sick. Um, so then I am playing them every day. I am inviting my friends over to play every day, so they have the unique experience of like living with someone that has an arcade, and you know, teaching them how to play as I learn because I'm playing so much more often. And we collect. He collects machines. Uh, Throughout that, and we have not gotten, and we will never go back to the prices that were,
Mhm.
which is such a bummer because my dad
Mhm.
got both the Harlem Globetrotters pinball machine and the Cyclone pinball machine
Oh,
for both of those for $1,100.
you
That's unheard of. Both of them
never gonna
working.
find anything like that.
No, you can't anymore. The
There was
you
just a huge auction recently. Ryan Adams, his private collection went up, and going through some of the classics in there and looking at the prices. Like every once in a while, you're like, maybe I can justify that. And then you hit the ones you want, even the like kind of cheesy ones. You're like, no, that's not going to happen.
when you say cheesy, what are the cheesy ones?
So one of my favorites from when I was a kid, and it was because a friend of my dad's had it
Hmm.
just at his house. I think it was just pinball machine for sale. He didn't care what it was, and he put it in a
Nice.
walk-in closet, like, and that you kind of went through the bedroom and into this walk-in closet, and it was clear you went through his wife's closet. It's all like fancy stuff, and then you get his, and it's the Flash Gordon pinball machine from
Flash
the
Court,
movie.
great competition game,
Mhm.
very hard.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily know that it's cheesy, but I'm also coming from it like I've got my ass beat by that game so often
I did 3 weeks
in
ago. It
in
is
casual play and
a
in
beast
competition
of a
play.
machine.
Those outlanes are
Mhm.
so difficult.
But like that machine, I used to sit there and play. It'd be like I'd go over with my parents because they'd go over for dinner. It's like, all right, Matt, go play
Yeah,
pinball. It's like
like yes, absolutely.
done. Can I take the dog with me? I'm like 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah,
But I remember growing up on that movie late night, like all the kind of sci-fi pulp noir stories that were passed down to me and then being reinvented in the 80s. So it has a special place in my heart. But I mean, in a way, it's kind of its own special cheesiness.
for sure. I just like I have seen the movie, but I when I go to play the pinball machine, it's more like oh fuck, I'm getting terrorized.
Yeah, I walked up to that thing. There's a pinball kind of museum slash vintage arcade in Frederick, Maryland called
Mhm.
Spinners.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
an amazing selection and they just keep adding more modern and classic. They do tournaments. And I walked in, it's $20, all you can play all day long. I took my 9-year-old and we're going through, and he's excited because they just got the Pokemon one and
Yeah,
it's
hell
next to
yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
I
And
hate
then I see
I dislike the
Flash
new Ninja
Gordon.
Turtles so much.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. I was still working at Portal when they
Mhm.
got it, and I played it, and I continued to play it. And I was like, God, I just don't really care for it. It's
It
cool. Eh,
it's it's impressive, the design, and going and playing that with him, it was really the first pinball machine where there was the character select function
mhm.
to it, and so that was wild seeing these new levels.
For I think that maybe that was Stern's first time doing the character select because Jersey Jack did it with Pirates of the Caribbean,
Mhm.
except for you had 20 characters to choose from. And they all
Oh.
did a different thing for you. Like, oh, extended ball time, or like
Mhm,
your bonus multiplier starts at this number, or
mhm.
what have you. They just had a thing that all 20 characters did, except for when you have that many characters, there's just always like, okay, a first player is usually just going to pick insert character here, which
Mhm,
means you're left with like one of these three characters.
mhm.
And then the rest of them are kind of just like you're playing them because that's like your favorite person.
It's like, how many legends did we have last year again?
Correct. Too many. Uh, Unnecessary. But yeah, so continue. I'm so
No,
sorry.
no, no, so it's just kind of going in and seeing Flash Gordon. I was like, "Hey, this is one I played." And I go in and it's just like every ball is just like trying
Yeah.
so hard and nothing. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play some more modern things with him."
Yeah. I mean, I Flash Gordon is great. Something that's always going to get me is
Mhm.
inline drop targets. That's just the sickest shit on the planet.
Yep.
I love drop targets, but I love them when they're inline, which is awesome. Which brings me to one of the games that I moved today. I don't know if you've ever played it, but it's called Hard Body.
Mm-mm.
It's a game about working out. You have 4 sets of 4. So on the top, I believe there's a 3 bank of drop targets. When you drop them, behind them is 3 stand-up targets. And then somewhere else, because you have like upper body, legs, abs. These banks of targets are each equal to a different part of the body that you work out.
So you got to target each muscle group.
It sounds like the most god awful theme on the planet, and the game is so fucking cool. They have this mechanic called flex lanes. So your out lanes drain as normal. Your in lanes just have a big old hole that the ball can drain through. But there is a second button on each side of the cabinet that pushes these spring-loaded metal lanes out to save the ball. They're called flex lanes, and they can trigger automatically off the in lane, or you have to do it yourself manually. Super sick.
That's a great design.
Super cool. I think it was the only game they did it on. Side note, they made it hard body and they also made it BMX. And the only difference was, obviously there's like a woman in like 80s, like spandex workout on the back glass and someone doing like a sick tabletop on the BMX one, except for I will always only want to play hard body because the shot from the upper playfield going to the upper left is kind of snakes around like this into inline drop targets that are set up horizontally.
Interesting.
Which is so cool. Because inline drop targets usually vertical. These are fully perpendicular to literally everything else. And I'm like, this is incredible. I love the thought of horizontal drop targets. Is sick. And then it falls down in this little thing and kicks it out. It's great. I love it. Inline drop targets is the greatest shit in the world.
So we talked about one of your favorite games that I know, Paragon. There were 3 others that you also mentioned were your favorites. You were mad when I said, give me your top 3.
It hurt me so much, Matt. I cannot express to you clearly how much it hurt. And because I wanted to give you like a good smattering, because I like even today I moved a Gottlieb Alien Star, a game that they did not make very many of, and that game is fucking hard, and that game is so good. I also moved a Bally Mystic, which you don't see often. That game fucking rules. There's this like sick like Illuminati triangle on the back glass that like lights up halfway. Super great.
I've never seen that one.
Inlines on it. Look it up right now. No, don't actually do that, probably. Or you can. I don't. It's your podcast.
I'll do it in a second. Anytime I like go out and look up, you're going to see the big flare in my lenses on these glasses because they're so massive, and everyone's gonna be like, "Wow, that's a really bright ring light." It's like, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm Googling.
Yeah. So there's and largely my wheelhouse for pinball machines, I feel like, is those late 70s, early 80s Bally and Stearns. I don't know how Stern got away with it. I actually don't know if it was Bally that got away with it. But the board sets for those Ballys and Stearns are the exact same. You can take the solenoid driver board out of the Stern and put it into the Bally and they work. I don't know how that happened, because usually you just like slap a patent on it and you can't do that, but they certainly did. So I can work on them very well. I can play them very well because that's what we had growing up. Because Matahari, have you played one of them before?
Yes.
So Matahari, Paragon, Harlem Globetrotters. What else did we have? God damn it.
Dramatic zoom with
I feel like there was one
name.
more, but those are all the same. Those are all the same like series of game. They're all from the same era. So they're all using the same board sets. They're all using the same mechanics underneath. And that's where I consider my wheelhouse, because we had the most of them and I got to play them the most. The newest game that we had was Gottlieb's 1994 Stargate.
Oh, I haven't played that one in years. And just that movie reference alone just brings back core memories.
And Stargate is considered the best of the System 3s. Lower down than that is like Waterworld, which I think that was the first pinball machine I bought in 2014 14. I bought it for $1,100. I bought Waterworld.
Mhm.
And then I sold it to pay for a car I don't have anymore. I'm just like, you fucking idiot. Just don't pay off a car. You fucking loser. You're not going to have it. I could still have, and Waterworld was sick. And I think a lot of Waterworld didn't get a ton of love because Gottlieb did not make, and I say love, and this is removed from the time in which it came out because pinball then died in 98,
Mhm.
essentially. We just had Stern. Stern was the only in the world, give or take, at least in America, um, pinball maker. They that was it, and they put out whatever they wanted to. They Big Buck Hunter in the early 2000s was dog shit. I hate that game. Avatar's fine. The new Avatar is insane. But Avatar was fine. Big Buck Hunter, they had like almost the same playfield, and I was like, why'd you just make the same game twice? But they also made Monopoly, and Monopoly fucking owns. Roller Coaster Tycoon is super cool. Sorry, I need to get back to where I was. But Gottlieb had essentially shot themselves in a foot they didn't know that they were going to have because their games weren't built very well for competitive, and they didn't have a way to turn off the random settings.
Mm.
Because if things are random, it's not good for competition, right? That's not entirely true. Sometimes you can have a thing wrong with a machine, but if it's wrong for everyone, it's not random.
Yeah.
Um, like
That will happen.
if for whatever reason when your machine kicks out the ball, it gives everyone 100 points because it's triggering a switch somewhere. As long as it is consistent, it's basically starting at zero. But there was no way to turn off the random rewards, or the way that Stern now builds their games. You can choose your random rewards to always land on like 500,000 points or whatever. So they largely fell out of favor because they couldn't be used in competition. But like Wipeout's really cool. It's got this
Mhm.
like big old step motor mountain on it.
Mhm.
That's like a ski lift. Waterworld's really sick because you lock the balls on the ship, and then the ship turns over and sinks, and then the balls drop down to you. It's fucking so
Oh,
cool.
I need to
And then it,
go find one of those now.
becomes the atoll, which that shot is basically like a half pipe turned on its side, so they come back to you, and one half goes back to a habit trail back to your left flipper, and the other half just shoots right back out through the atoll in the movie. Great, so cool. And you collect dirt, you know,
Yeah.
everything
It's
Costner did.
the flavor is there, just like in Magic.
Yes, but overall, like Gottlieb System 3 is not looked up to in the same sense that those 90s like Bally Williams are, like
Mhm.
Medieval Madness
Yep.
and Tales of the Arabian Nights, Theater of Magic,
Mhm.
Adam's Family. All those were
Yep.
just like heavy hitter after hitter after hitter, and had the means to make them competitive games
Mhm.
by removing the random elements out of them. And also
I
they're just
s
really fucking expensive.
I spent countless hours at the roller rink in the '90s as a kid playing Addams Family.
That
Like,
it is like, did they have the topper with the
yep,
clouds?
the
Sick,
full
dude.
thing.
It's
It's still one of the
such
most
a
iconic sets.
such an incredible light show when you go to get multi-ball. Oh,
Mhm.
so good. And then also not Cactus Canyon, but that was like the last one before Bally Williams died. Medieval Madness.
Mhm.
I don't know if you do know this, but one of the princesses that you save on the right ramp
Mhm.
is Tina Fey.
What?
Yeah. I believe Tina Fey is just like the Ditz princess.
My god. I mean, Tina Fey being a princess you rescue in a pinball machine is an unaired episode of 30 Rock right there.
Yeah.
We missed out, but apparently it was there all along.
Well, yeah, it's the princess you save all along. I love spitting that fact to people. I'm like, yeah, it's Tina Fey is one of the princesses. And
There,
Attack from Mars is another one.
oh,
That's
that's a
that's
great
iconic.
one.
The other interesting thing about Attack from Mars and Medieval Madness is it is the same game.
Really?
So from a shot by shot across from left to right of the playfield, you have left orbit,
Mhm.
left ramp,
Yep.
the thing that locks your balls, which is either crashing through the wall of the castle,
Or the
or
UFO.
that back around part in like it sweeps around the UFO in the
Mhm.
center of um Attack from Mars,
Mhm.
and then the shot next to that is your UFO that you have to destroy or the castle gates that you have to destroy.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
then to the right of that is a VUK or a VUK, a vertical up kick. So the ball
Mhm.
falls underneath and it kicks the ball up and out. It's called a
Yep.
VUK. Uh,
Great acronym.
next to that middle shot is a VUK. Next to that is the right ramp, and next to that is the right orbit. And then back behind all that right stuff, you have the lanes that drop down into your 3 pop bumpers. And they also function similarly in base rules where basically Brian Eddy wanted you to shoot each shot 3 times to complete that shot, and then you
Mhm.
get a multi-ball
Yeah.
that way too. Um, outside of Medieval Madness having that far left shot that is the catapult, that's like the big difference between both games outside of their theme and flavor. They are the same game.
Attack from Mars is I will sit and play that for
It's
an
so good.
hour easily. Every once in a while, the only issue I have is on the one that I'll play up at Spinners is there's almost a slight glitch in the UFO where when you knock down the aliens to get in to attack it, sometimes the ball can get trapped behind it,
Mhm.
and it takes a minute for the system to reset and catch that.
So, what's interesting about that is if you're in multi-ball and that happens, you just slam that wall and you can score what it's called a dirty pool because you
Mhm.
score the jackpot while the wall's up.
Okay, now I have a new goal, a little something to unlock.
hmm So, and it's not to like punch down at both of them for being essentially the same game, but it is kind of a bummer that they kind of are, but they
Mm.
are also just so iconic for different reasons. They're both very
It's
funny games.
it's almost like a secret lair where you reskin it.
Yeah,
You know,
essentially.
everyone's gonna have a version that works for them. And what's best is if you have them both in the same venue,
hmm
no one has to wait in line.
No, it's true. And then also, then like God knows how many years later, Brian Eddy designed Stranger Things, and I'm like, this is just it's the same game again. Brian Eddy did it. So you shoot like that far right ramp, which is
Mhm.
the homie's like alien dog friend.
Yeah.
You got to shoot that 3 times, and you start a mode. You shoot that right ramp 3 times in Attack from Mars. It's you killing the aliens that are like capturing citizens,
Mhm.
and the orbits
Start
in
saving the cities and moving on to the
yeah,
next layer.
and the orbits in Medieval Madness are the jousts. So I'm like Brian Eddy's
Clever.
just going back to the well, and Stranger Things is an incredible pinball machine.
Mhm. I mean,
Um,
if you have a system that works, like,
yeah, like
throw in new electronics and
I
let
was
go.
a hater, and I was like, it's the same thing. He did
Mhm.
the same thing again, and then I played it. I was like, of course, there's like far more technology, and they can have add a deeper rule set and do different
Mhm.
things. And I was like, yeah, Stranger Things is actually so good.
It's a good way to take the comfort that you have and give you something new, even
Yeah.
if you might not see it all there.
So the rest of the games that we own, $6 Million Man is in
Mhm.
that same
Yep.
era of late '70s Bally where they just transitioned from electromechanical to digital displays
Mhm.
and digital scoring, which is the turning point game for that was Matahari because you can
Mhm.
find Mataharis that have the electromechanical reels in the back, or
Mhm.
you can find them that have the digital displays. The other thing is because they had just gotten to make displays digital is the sound was still the chime box in the front left of the machine. So you still had bing bong dick, instead of like the digital doots, which
Mhm.
came with Paragon and $6 Million Man and Harlem
Mhm.
Globetrotters, because they hadn't gotten there yet. They hadn't figured out how to make the digital sound happen. So
Mhm.
it's cool to own a game at the turning point of the technology where it's split in half.
And then you start seeing how it's just modernized over
Oh,
time to include full motion video, animation, live soundtracks.
the Jersey Jacks pinball machines that always take a picture of you.
Mhm.
It's an option you can turn off, but sometimes it's very funny to see the face you're making. Uh,
Or I think playing we talked about the Iron Maiden machine, which is a blast. But the first thing you do is like, what song you want going during this, and full stereo,
yep,
right?
and it's the same thing with Metallica. Metallica, you
Mhm.
get to pick your song.
Rush did the same thing.
Yep, Rush is so good.
Mhm.
A lot of shots on that game.
It's a good one. It's unfortunately the one that I usually play on the volumes down a little too low compared to everything else. I'm like, no, no, no. I want Fly By Night
Yes.
cranked.
Um, I do think the Led Zeppelin pinball machine is not like it doesn't. I don't think it holds a candle compared to Rush, which is such a bummer
Hmm.
because Led Zeppelin's so like
Hmm.
everywhere, always and almost at all times. And it's a bummer 'cause everything feels all the shots feel so far away outside of that left ramp
Hmm.
for the blimp ramp.
Hmm.
Uh, I think it's kind of a bummer, and I believe mostly people are like, if we're going to uninclude a geezer geezer music machine, it's usually Led Zeppelin because it feels so bare. Despite the fact that I kind of like it, I don't hate it. I like it. If I have other options, I'm probably not playing Led Zeppelin.
It was just shy of the greatness it deserved.
Maybe a little more than shy, but in other people's eyes, because I'm still just John Bonham just playing drums is so good.
uh,
Um,
there's a reason they are who they are, and they have that place in music history.
I also you can't see him, but I have two bare playfields up on the wall behind my TV, and there's a TV. Did you ever play Black Hole?
Yeah.
I have one, and I have an extra big playfield for it, and
Oh,
I need to rip the parts off of it and hang it up. But I do have a Black Hole. Um,
I never thought about that as wall art.
yeah,
I see the giant cards behind you, and like that's the classic for a Magic player, especially someone who does the grind. But for you, playfields.
yeah. The so I have Fathom. I don't know if you played that one or
Mm-mm,
not.
haven't seen that one.
And then so that's 81, 82,
Hmm.
and then next to that is Bobby Orr Power Play.
Wow.
It's got the Chicago Blackhawks,
Yeah.
the flag, and then the Canada Maple Leafs flag because that's the rivalry.
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You might want to swap one of those out behind you next.
You know, it's kind of just like this is where they were, and I still need to find a way to incorporate the black hole playfield. So the current lineup was so Mars. Did you play Mars God of War
No,
at any
I've
point
never
in
played that
time?
one.
Okay, that's a more middle '80s Gottlieb machine.
Hmm.
So we have Mars God of War. I have Stern Meteor.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah, that one I saw one of those recently.
That game's great. Very addictive gameplay loop where you have to knock down your targets that spell meteor across
Hmm.
the like top middle there with that flipper right next to it.
Hmm.
And depending on the letters you put down dictates the score that your spinner will score. And
Oh.
you want to leave so whatever the point value of those drop targets are, you want to leave the smallest number letter up
Hmm.
because once you knock it down, it lights the corresponding light at the spinner. So if you knock down a 200 point target, it adds 200 to the spinner value. So if you knock down all of the bigger numbers, your spinner is worth like so many thousands a rip. And that is one of the best spinners in all of pinball, I think.
Okay,
Uh,
that's another one for me to I've just slowly, since we've talked pinball, I added a mental list of, okay, I gotta track down this machine and this one.
um,
There are a handful of arcades that have vintage and modern machines within driving distance,
mhm.
thankfully.
And so because once you knock them all down, the bank resets and then
Mhm,
your spinner goes back to base score. Um, and then you have your sweepable sets of drop targets that are 111, 222,
mhm,
333, which is a thing Stern liked to do, where if you hit it just right, you could knock down all the drop targets in one pass.
mhm,
Which later would become a thing, most notably in Williams Whirlwind.
mhm,
There's your skill shot. You can either skill shot up around if the plunger is how it should be to your upper flipper and then try to
mhm,
hit the ramp or make the loop again. But the skill shot is into the three bank of drop targets here.
mhm.
And if you sweep those, you could see it say sweep, and then you get a bonus for them. So it did become a thing. Stern was just like, "Yeah, you could just hit all three of these at one time and call it a day." Um, so there's that. My brain, where was I? I have El Dorado City of Gold.
Mhm.
You know about that one?
No, I'm not familiar with that
Do
one.
you know about El Dorado
Yeah.
or Solar City?
I know Solar City.
Okay, so El Dorado is the 1-player version of that table. Solar City is the 2-player version of that. Target Alpha is the 4-player version of that. El Dorado City of Gold is the digital version of that table with electronic noises and digital scores. And then Canada Dry is the other digital version of that 4 players.
Wow.
So that 10 bake of drop targets just says like Canada Dry.
And people think Magic goes too far with Universes Beyond.
I mean, I think it was I don't know or remember having seen one. They might have just been shipped out to Canada only because I just haven't seen one in real life, not that I'm aware of.
So road trip is what I'm hearing.
To somewhere with a Canada Dry.
That's now the pilgrimage. Okay, hard question then.
For
If we made a Magic pinball machine,
okay.
what plane would you set it on?
Here, we're slack. On overnights, I spent a good bit of time when I was working overnights fleshing out the mechanics and the playfield layout for the War of the Spark pinball machine, because the arc of War of the Spark is so easy and so there. You have your good guys, you have your bad guys. What is the thing that you're trying to do? You're trying to defeat Nicol Bolas. So that's what the big target in the center, like the easy thing to get multi-ball off. Like if you're playing Metallica, you can just like hit Sparky a whole bunch and then get a multi-ball. It's like the easy thing to do.
Yeah.
That's Bolas' Citadel. That's what you're shooting at to hit dead center of the pinball machine.
One of your ramps, the pyramid in Iron Maiden.
Yeah, correct. One of your ramps is the planar beacon that brings all of the planeswalkers to Ravnica and also incidentally Nicol Bolas.
Do you activate it and you get multi-ball?
Planar beacon. Well, so because War of the Spark had all of those like uncommon planeswalkers that only tick down because they died, I was like, what if we had a way to collect planeswalkers, and some of them would die throughout your battles because that's how they were in the game. You could only take them down, so they were to perish, and they did. So you collect them at the interplanar beacon, or if you combo with them, you could collect more than one planeswalker at a time. But I digress. The interplanar beacon is what brought Nicol Bolas to Ravnica, if I remember correctly. This is where I need like my hands are blank because he's like a lore guy. Shout out David, I love you. You're great. So I think I had it in my mind that the left ramp was the interplanar beacon. Orbits were something else. Other modes would be like a Dread Horde multi-ball mode, where what I envisioned for Dread Horde multi-ball was after you hit the like Citadel enough, you could start Dread Horde multi-ball, and you could see an advancement of the troops in light inserts in the playfield towards your flippers. And if they got to your flippers would become weak or unusable, and you could lose.
Oh, I like that mechanic. That's kind of clever.
And then it made so much sense because he had the dead gods, right? Hazaret somehow got the fuck out of there and ended up racing.
Yeah, he had a Ketra ended up getting killed.
Ketra, Bantu, and Kefna all came back bad. They all came back evil time. And so those are your 3 mini wizard modes. Once you make it past all your base level modes and multi-ball modes, you had to fight through Oketra, the guy that I just said, Bantu, and Kefna, and all their modes did different things. Like, I was thinking, I'm not sure, I'd have to look at it, but it's a long fucking Slack message to myself of what each mode did. But after you defeat them, you go into the final wizard mode, which is where you battle Nicol Bolas. And the more planeswalkers you bring with you and collect, the easier these battles are. And you could also lose planeswalkers. Like if one of your modes could be like, I imagine Kefnet's mode could be a mode where you have to hit those stand-up targets that are like in between shots, which are normally you don't aim for those because they're bad. If you're playing a certain era of Stern, they're just blue targets, and we call them the BTODs, or blue targets of death, because if you hit them, they most likely just like slingshot that bitch right back down the middle. Like when you're playing Rolling Stones and you have Mick Jagger on a stick, there's plenty of BTODs on that goddamn game. Oh god.
Wizards, are you listening? You need to make one for
No,
the
I need
arcade.
it's me. They need me to design it. I want to
Mm-hmm.
design it. I have all these great ideas.
Call
Other
Script.
other things that would hire me. God, I know I could get the time off for it. But I had other ideas. Something that I wanted to see is like so optos are much more reliable way, because if you look at those old games, they have those little wire forms that pop out and the ball rolls over it and then it pushes down a leaf into the other side of the
Mm-hmm.
contact and scores, and sometimes those contacts aren't supposed to last 50 years, so they become dirty and they don't score anymore. But and on each of your like orbit shots or shots that don't go up a ramp, I would like to have a way to block those off. And my thought was, okay, so you pass the opto and then a post pops up or something stops it, and then a second one pops up, so now the ball is stuck. This is like part of some mode, who knows. And then it happens everywhere else, but you can still score that shot because you can, it's a Newton ball now, it's stuck, so you can have it across the opto and you can still get counts for that shot in this mode, while you're trying to do the other things, and that maybe that could reset your time or give you a bonus, or maybe like a smart missile if you play Jurassic Park where you hit
Mm-hmm.
the action button and it scores a shot for you, something like that. So I have it all written down, and I'm just like, what I really need is to understand the lore of War of the Spark better.
I've
And
got a
I
book for you.
Yeah, sick, great. Or I'm just like David, just write, just give me the what the fuck, what are the notes that you could cheat on? What the hell were those?
There was the Cliff
Spark
Notes.
Notes, Cliff Notes. Yeah, just
Yeah.
give me the Cliff Notes, and that's what I need.
There's
Uh,
the Planeswalkers Guide, and then there was the series, The Art of, and they did one for War of the Spark and one for Ravnica. But the War of the Spark book gives you all the art, but then it also gives you all of the lore, the history, all the players, all the lead up to it, who
yeah.
survived, who lost, what
So
the plan was.
a lot of that dictates it, but there's obviously, like, when you collect Gideon, you could like team up with Rakdos, because that
Mm-hmm.
was like the one and only time Rakdos would be ridden or
Mm-hmm.
in that state, which is super sick. So my brain is like, I've been through this a bunch of times, and I'm like, this is so fucking good. It's so good. Please just hire me to design this game. It would be checking off like the something so incredible for me, because I would love to design pinball machines, but I just like, that involves a lot of math that I did not go to school for or have learned or have bothered to, because like, kind of like, it's the same. I wanted to be a roller coaster designer, and then I realized I had no math. I was like, fuck, man, stop it.
The dream can still come true. Sometimes you just need the design and the functionality and what you need, and then we can hire everyone else we need to fill in the
Because
numbers.
there is a contingent in the pinball space that do homebrews.
Mm-hmm.
One of my buddies, Ernie, actually runs Trident Pinball, and from him you can buy a fully like set up for you cabinet and playfield that comes with it working flippers and
Mm-hmm.
pop uppers for you to place wherever, and you can just buy that kit and then start to make your own pinball machine, tied in with like either Cobra or Fast Pinball, so you can have your like little computer that sits down there and boots up your machine essentially and starts playing your game, and then you can just like screw and unscrew and drill and place and duct tape and cardboard in what you want your shit to do. There's a big contingent of those, and I will scroll through like my Facebook feed when I'm bored, and I will see someone's making a saw pinball machine, which is sick. You can like shoot through the toilet and go down into like a lower play field. It's sick, super great. Beavis and Butthead. There's a League of Legends
Mm-hmm.
pinball machine out there, a Beastie Boys pinball machine that looks really fucking cool.
Okay, I'd play a Beastie Boys one in a
Like
heartbeat.
there's like the robot at the
Uh-huh.
turntables, and when the ball hits the pop uppers, he like hits the records. Like he like scratches the
Oh,
records.
come
It's fucking
on.
sick, dude. It's so tight.
send me the links to those Facebook groups.
It's so rad.
You were sending me down a very dark and stormy path, and I feel you and I could probably talk pinball design ideas. Heck, I had a whole thought of, well, what if we talk about the shift in legality of pinball compared to like the
Ooh.
concepts of gambling with magic? But I think we're gonna have to do a second episode on that.
Because I was gonna be like, because there is that. Like
Mm-hmm.
when was the last time we had a new IP pinball machine it's always been like some my like a geezer like a geezer. Like my dad would call
Mhm.
all the old tours that come through geezer palooza tours.
Mhm.
So it's like just some old man rock and roll, or it's superhero, or we it's been a little better. We got Pokemon and we got Sonic. Most recently, the most
Mhm.
recent machine that's been announced is Sonic, and it looks fucking sick.
I wanna play Sonic. I'm hoping that one of the places near here gets it. I've played the Pokemon one. I love it. Thinking of the kind of like the old man rock. I mean, part of me doesn't want to call it old man, but Foo Fighters pinball machine.
Yeah, okay, so Foo Fighters is sick. Jack Danger,
Mhm.
I really like Jack Danger and Keith Allen because they are breathing a lot of new life into how pinball machines are laid out.
Mhm.
Like
It's a fun machine.
it's very fun. And like Godzilla is an Elwin classic.
Oh,
So good, such a good pinball
such a
machine.
good one.
Uncanny X-Men was a Jack
Mhm.
Danger special, and I think Jack Danger has looked at all those old Gottlieb machines
Mhm.
and how they played it less safe with their layouts because they
Mhm.
had the pop bumpers all the way down towards the flippers
Mhm.
in a lot of their games in their life, which is a thing that Bally and Stern did not do.
Mhm.
So when I see like Alien Star, I believe, has a pop upper further down the playfield towards you,
Mhm.
and so does Uncanny X-Men. It has the pop upper that's just fucking right there.
Mhm.
And Foo Fighters has I think it has one in the bottom right somewhere. I just think about how flowy that machine is. It's very good. I always choose Monkey Wrench.
Mhm.
That's the song I pick when I play Foo Fighters is Monkey Wrench. The song's so good.
And it
Um
just fits with it.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyways, I could talk forever. I also had this thought before we even did this, where I was talking about the competitive formats of pinball in parallel with
Mhm.
the formats of Magic,
Okay, so we're
which
doing 2 more episodes then, one
yeah,
on, gambling and one on competition, which I think would be fantastic.
yeah,
So,
I'm totally for it. Absolutely.
okay, I am penciling that in now. But before we wrap up, I gotta give you the questionnaire. So,
Yes.
10 quick questions, first thing that comes to mind, just kind of a little bit of silliness about you and just everything we've talked about and then some. So,
Mhm.
you ready?
Yes.
So, what's a card that brings you happiness?
I think it is. I think it is like my favorite card. I think, and I think it's Paradoxical Outcome.
Okay.
Do you know
I'm
about
not familiar with that
this
one.
fellow? Okay, so for 3 and a blue, you get a sorcery.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it'd be fucked if it was an instant. Holy shit. Uh, you return any number of non-token, non-land cards to your hand, draw that many cards.
Oh, I like that.
It's sick. It's also one of the like tier 1 decks in Vintage
Okay.
is like Luris PO. So you're
Mhm.
playing the small cat that's banned everywhere.
Mhm.
So you're in Vintage and you just go like Mox, 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 Black Lotus, Time Vault, and then you tap all your Moxes in your land, you cast Black Lotus, you pick up all your zero drops. So you pick up 5 cards, draw 5 cards, play all your zero drops again. And this is where it can become a control deck or a storm deck with Monastery Mentor. So every time you are playing a Mox, you get a Prowess Monk. That deck is fucking sick. Or it becomes Time Vault, and you like put down Time Vault, you spell for an extra turn, you PO, you pick up Time Vault, put it down, like you're one of Snapcaster to cast PO from the graveyard, and you just like you outvalue your opponent with like a Esper PO Lurus shell. It's so sick.
Okay, I love the progression of that. That sounds like an experience just to witness walking by.
And I because they printed the Mox Jasper,
Mhm.
that gave us like we had Bobble,
Mhm.
Mox Opal, Mox Jasper. So I, for like 4 months, played PO in Modern, which is not a thing you could ever do because you didn't have enough zero drops with that dragon sprite. Just the is it 1/1 that just has like permanent prowess,
Mhm.
and I got to play PO. I got to pick up my Mishra's Bobble, my 4 zero drops, draw 4 cards, put them back down with Corey Steelcutter. That deck was fucking crazy. It was so sick. I PO'd 3 times. You play three paradoxical outcomes of the deck. I chained all 3 of them. I could have fought God and won.
Well, that I can see the joy in your face from
That's
that.
so fucking cool.
So we're gonna flip it around. What's a
Yeah.
card that brings you misery?
It is it is 3 fairy.
Mm,
That is a pretty miserable experience. There have been multiple times where me and my fellow Magic players are testing for modern, and one of us has to ferry out Time Raveler, and we forget about it, and then we have this incredible back and forth on a turn, and then we
hmm.
look and go, "Oh, it's Teferi, like, none of this matters."
Yeah,
It's it is truly a miserable experience.
it's the best dad in Magic, but the strongest disappointed dad voice on the
It's
board.
God, dude. I played, do you remember Yusri from
Hmm.
Modern Horizons 2,
Yeah,
the coin flip? I built a modern Yusri deck with around Fiery Gambit and Krark's Thumb because I had 4 Krark's Thumb because that's the kind of player I am where I just already had 4 Krark's Thumbs.
like one does.
Yeah, of course. And Fiery Gambits, and like I did like make it through all like 3 flips on Fiery Gambit and draw 10 cards and be a, like it was incredible. And I played a split card from original Ravnica, which I didn't have unless I made treasures. I couldn't cast the Boros side, but I could cast the Izzet side. Um, and it was like counter the spell, flip a card, or you take control of the spell. Kind of
Hmm.
inverse polarity. And me and my buddy Nick had like it was like a 5 card stack of interaction, and then we looked at his board and he was like, "Oh, we have to ferry out." Like this really cool fucking thing that happened didn't. And it's just such it's so it is actively good and powerful for you to play, and you should, but my god, it doesn't promote any good gameplay experience, right?
Let's get you to a nicer place then. What's a plane you'd like to live on?
I do truly think that I'm just like just give me to Ravnica. I started in Ravnica. I have the same thing for Lorwyn, but Lorwyn feels like way more prickly. With like, the racism and the flip flop from night to day and everything's really bad and
Mm.
dangerous. But like I have the same nostalgia I have for Lorwyn, I have for OG Ravnica. Was not playing for OG Ravnica.
What season of Ravnica, like season of the year, would you want to be there?
I feel like fall's gotta be pretty fucking cool.
So all I can think of is fall, walking around, seeing all the gorgeous art from several of the
Yeah.
sets with the changing leaves, just
Yeah.
walking around with coffee or the equivalent.
The basic planes that's like all their aqueducts running around looking really
Hmm.
fucking cool. Yeah, give me that shit all day.
All the architecture, all the art, you're going to just be set, minus the odd explosion from Is It.
Yeah, yeah, but that's like a thing you come to expect, though. I
Hmm.
also feel like Kaladesh is up there, but that's again just it's
Hmm.
just like another city center where you have all like the amenities you would want. But I imagine you have like your public transportation all set up and stuff.
The
I'll die
small
mad about
things
that
you need.
forever. I'll die mad about the old racist white motherfuckers that prevented the expansion of MARTA into Cobb County. Fuck you forever. You don't deserve to live. They created a
Hmm.
10-foot wide, 1 mile long town
Hmm.
so they could have more votes to vote against the expansion of MARTA because they didn't want the kind of people that rode MARTA in Cobb County. And then they put the
Mm.
baseball stadium there, and then those people came anyways. Fucking morons. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I grew up in South Texas, and there were some places in East Texas that just make you sort of sick to your stomach when you realize the type of people and mentalities that were still around
They're
and
like
still
so prevalent.
and it just you can't get through fast enough, but at the same time you want to do everything you can to just shut them down.
And Atlanta is such an incredible city, and it would be so much more incredible if MARTA just existed in a much bigger
Hmm.
context because it goes up 400. But you know what's up 400? Alpharetta and Milton, in very rich white places. Terrible. I'm sorry. Go to the next question.
No, like it's one of the cities I love so much. The people are great. Like the
Mhm.
ability to get
Food
around,
is
to
sick.
explore, food's amazing. I am so excited to come back in November is when MagicCon is,
Yeah, late November.
and just be in the city with everyone. Just there's a kindness there that you hope just gets infectious to the point that it overpowers all the problems.
Yeah. I mean, when you're just walking around like MagicCon last year,
Mhm.
Cobert
Yeah.
MTG was parked and then was walking by because this Sunday was that Falcons game and made
Yeah.
parking really like a huge bitch for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as it does. And he was like, yeah, they just like this group of black people that was tailgating and like had a full grill out and they were just grilling chicken and pork. They just called me over and I just fucking had a beer and ate chicken with them in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Sick.
Everyone is so welcoming in that city. And it was great wandering through with that game going and seeing all the fans. And even if it was, I don't even remember who they were playing, but the rival fans were still being treated as like, hey, you're one of us. Welcome.
I
How
mean,
can we
the
help you?
Falcons have a long history of just doing nothing but losing. So like there's compassion there, and there should be because they're very like the joke is the one thing that the Falcons can't beat is tradition, and that kind of sometimes goes for all Atlanta sports. But
Eh, there's always hope.
yes, well,
I stick with it. I'm always told hope is my
yeah,
favorite 4-letter word.
I super enjoy the aside that in Community where Punky Brewster's character is like, oh, Hope is Faith's uglier, bitchier sister. It's an incredible bit. I'll send you the link to it. It's so funny.
Getting that now. I'm putting that on my whiteboard on the door to my office at work now because everyone's going to look at that and go, nah, that's you.
Yeah, that tracks.
Okay, so what is your favorite slice of the color pie?
Oh, give me it's blue. I was born in like the Simic vats, but I'm
Mhm.
also just like, oh, is this also blue? What is this? Is it shenanigans? Oh, just like drawing infinite cards? That's sick. Cerebral Vortex is another one of my favorite cards.
Mhm.
You know about that fella?
Mhm.
I love that card. I've done the thing where I'm like, Blue Sun Zenith you for like 60, Cerebral Vortex, draw 2 more cards and take 62, you're dead. It's incredible.
Then go bigger, ho home,
That's
right?
old magic. We can't do that anymore. There's just cards that do that better, but there's no feeling like that.
I mean, those are some of the best moments when you dredge up something from the past that people have forgotten about or never thought of because there's either something with more value, but
Mhm. I
you can
mean,
make it more spectacular.
the last time I did that was like 2016
Bring
because it
it
was still
back.
reasonable to do so.
The reason has no place here.
Yeah, sure.
So here's a very important question that could change a friendship, not ours, but others.
Mm.
When we think about slices of that color pie, for you, is it a pie or is it a cake?
I had not considered it this way, and I don't think it changes much for me in any capacity. Um, because I don't think I ever made it food to begin with. Like, I don't think I ever thought of it as
Hmm.
food, even though I said color pie bazillions
Hmm.
of times in my, oh, this is a color pie break, which is just like, the chocolate chips melted over into like the iced whatever, Um, I think it can be either. I just so had not like I saw the 10, but I just did the one that like
Hmm.
I did just like skip over them, but I have them up. So now that I'm reading, I'm like, I never considered it to be food in the first place, but this like tracks as a question, and I should just fucking answer it.
Well, what are you more favorable towards, cake or
I
pie?
think I am like a cake guy over pie, but like
Hmm.
sometimes apple pie is just incredible with like a French vanilla ice cream like
You
next
can't
to
go
it.
wrong
It's
with the
incredible.
classics.
That's why I'm like it's so tough because I just like I am just like milk toast enough where I'm like if I'm getting an ice cream, it's probably cookies and cream. It's so
Hmm.
hard to go wrong with.
No, it's the first. So last year, I started making homemade ice cream. And the first
Oh
one I
shit.
made for my kiddo was cookies and cream because that was his favorite. And I did a series on Instagram every once in a while where I'd make a random flavor and pair it up with a magic card.
That's awesome.
And then the one that he keeps asking for now is a different take on cookies and cream, and it's Biscoff.
Ooh, yeah.
So sweet
Biscoff
cream
good.
Biscoff. He calls it, when he was little, he called Biscoff dad crackers
Add crackers.
because every time I'd travel for work, all the airlines would give you Biscoff.
Yes.
And who is this that is joining us
Oh,
right
this
now?
is Chloe. She's
Hi,
just a
Chloe.
little lady. She's
Oh,
just
the
a little
fanciest little
lady.
lady.
Oh yeah, she's a fancy lady.
Chloe, you were always welcome on the show. Now I'm also hungry thinking of pie, cake, and ice cream.
Yeah,
So
I will be getting something. I don't know what I'm getting. I might just be going to get some roller food from Quick Trip, which it's like a Quick Trip hot dog killer.
why
So good.
not? They're the things that you just cannot mess up, the consistency and that fix you get. And whenever you're in the area, homemade ice cream, always
Yes.
available to you.
This another aside is a thing that exists so plentifully in like New England, like in Connecticut, New Hampshire,
Mhm,
Maine, is just like homemade ice cream
mhm.
stands. It's like not a thing here
But there are
in Atlanta.
tons in, the Maryland side
Hmm.
of the DC area. They have the Maryland Ice Cream Trail, so it's a bunch of
Fuck yeah.
dairies, creameries, and one-off stands, and if you start going to a bunch of them, they have an app, and you can start getting points to get, like, free ice cream. It's like,
Love that.
I'm happily here for it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
sticking with flavors, what's your favorite flavor text?
Um, there's this dumb fucking card from Return to Ravnica Block. It's called the Undead Reveler.
Mhm.
And his flavor text is he's the unlife of the party, and that's very fun. It's
You
so stupid, it's so good.
it's it's kind of a classic. I was looking through to try and find fun cards with fun flavor text related to some of your Spellify shenanigans,
Hmm.
and the one I came up with was Wild Guess,
Yeah, Wild Guess is great.
which has fantastic flavor text of "No guess, no glory."
Yeah. I've one of the first decks that I built in 60 card tabletop, because I didn't start playing any real format. We just
Mhm.
bought cards we thought were cool and put them in a 60 card deck and played, was Wild Guess. I played a Dodge and Burn, which was no creatures, and it was just like lightning bolts and counter spells and Wild Guess to draw cards. So like the image of that guy reaching into that spiky hole is
Mhm.
like burned into my brain forever because I cast it so much in my
It's a
life.
classic. It's so much fun. All right. What is a
Uh
recurring fault on your turn?
and to go back,
Mhm.
the another favorite flavor text of mine that I just refuse to read is that uncommon from Duskmorn with Nashi and Tamio. It was like we
Anything
got more
related
than
to
most
that?
people get. We got to say goodbye because I did not get to say goodbye to my mother. It was just like, oh, she's in the hospital, and then like 2 hours later, I just got like a text like, oh, she's dead, sick. So like, don't show me that card, I'll hit you.
Yeah. That that whole sequence, that
I
card, the weight and the emotion,
Yeah,
the inability to say goodbye, I think resonates with so much of
I
us.
have I have looked at that card multiple times and been like,
Mhm.
so that is a favorite flavor text, even though it just hurts me all the time. But it is what it is. It's so
Yeah.
good. Whoever
It's
whoever wrote that flavor
powerful.
text needs to give them a raise. So
Yeah.
they deserve it.
They need to do flavor text on more things. That's the
Well, they
hunt
gotta
now
they
is
gotta
find
stop
that
having
person.
rules text.
I get sad when I have to go through a whole pack and don't find any flavor text,
Oh god, it's
and it's just
awful.
rules. It makes me
Yeah, it's
sad
tough.
because I wanna find those little jokes, the little puns, the references, or from when I first started, you get random bits of Shakespeare and Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. There's also another one specifically. I had the first time I ever read it was doing the Spellify. It's an uncommon removal spell from Strixhaven that gives someone a 4/4 weird.
Mhm.
Um, it's the wrong Strixhaven. Fuck. Not the new one. I want the old one. I'm sure.
STX?
Yeah. Oh, STX. That's what it is. Correct. Set XTX. Blue uncommon.
Teamwork.
I'm going so fast. I'm going so fast. It got reprinted in some decks because it is just really good. Resculpt. You know about that flavor text?
Mm-mm.
Says critics were struck first by the elemental's surprising grace, and then by its fists. Very good.
That fits with Strixhaven
Yeah,
on so many levels, and it just it kinda makes me think of something coming out of Quandrix with, "Yeah, don't worry about that experiment."
yeah. All right, we can go to the next one.
So what's a recurring fault on your turn?
Something I have found most recently is that the cards in my hand that have the most relevance to the position that I am in need to be in the forefront. They need to be up front
Mhm,
because many times, and most recently, I was playing just a casual game of CDH
mhm.
um, with the Super Friends, and Parker uh, went to search his library, and as I looked through my hand on my turn, was an opposition agent at the back with 3 mana up, and I was like, "Fellas, we could not be here, but I'm a fucking idiot. I'm so sorry I did this to us." And then Parker won. If I had just, flashed in the oppo agent and stopped his search, or used it as favor to be like, "Hey, whatever you're getting, make it not the thing that wins you the game, because I can just take whatever from you." Like the weight of an opposition agent at that moment would have been so huge. Instead, it just was a feather in the back of my hand. I didn't know it was there. That's happened.
It's a
That's
favorite
happened at
card.
least 2 times that I can remember. Usually, and I think it's because it's casual. I'm usually a little bit more alert when I'm playing modern, but that has happened before. I've missed archive traps for free before, and we don't gotta fucking talk about it. It's
I always
embarrassing.
have to stack my hand so I know what's going on, as I'll just forget.
Yeah.
And I also don't have the dexterity to kind of do the card flicking thing,
I
and
mean, it doesn't.
I just give up.
Not that it does any fucking good for me. It's still,
Yeah.
I still
It's not that I
forgot it was
help,
there.
so I need it there, and I really don't care if people start figuring out, oh, he only places this stuff on this side and this on the other.
Yeah.
So what card type are you?
Oh God, I don't know. I think I want to be an artifact really bad. Artifacts are so cool.
They're functional, they have flavor, they do the thing.
They also can make you do the thing in any color, which is awesome. Like I built a Teshar deck, that bird cleric from
I know
Dominaria.
Teshar.
And the deck does everything. It because of artifacts. At the 99 is all common, but you know what I can do in that 99? Everything. I can make infinite mana. I can gain infinite life. I can deal infinite damage. Why would I do in 5 colors what I can do in 1? Now they are like 5 and 6 card combos, yes, but I can still do them.
Yeah, you can make it work. Teshar and Burnished Heart are like my hellscape of just watching it get killed over and over again. It's the whole meme of stop, he's already dead.
Or Infinite Fogs with Kami of the False Hope. Sacrifice it. If you're attacking me, I'll sacrifice it, and then I'll just play this whatever the hell, and I'll put it back on the field. The card's insane. And so are artifacts, and they just allow me to do the goofy thing, and I just love it. My first commander deck off the shelf at the Walmart, because me and Paul didn't really like local game stores. Like were there, but we didn't use them the way that we should have, so we just went to Walmart a bunch and bought packs, which you can't play Magic at Walmart, so why would you buy there? But also it's the closest thing for me that I know of. Was Aloro Ageless Aesthetic, which is just an Esper artifact deck that I get to gain 2 life no matter where he is.
What's the worst that could happen?
No, yeah, I'll play a Sharding Sphinx and go.
So what keyword would you have, or keywords?
God,
we'll do top 4, because the last time I asked you for a top 3, you cried.
This is hard, but it doesn't hurt me. It's like thinking of myself as just like a regular ass human person. What keywords do I have? It's definitely like not double strike. It's definitely not vigilance. Because I'm just like tired all the fucking time. I suppose based off my like size and weight, trample I think is very feasible for me to have if I'm thinking about it on this side of my brain. I could probably have trample. Definitely not flying. That's just not how that works. None of us have ward. That's just like no one's paying 2 to shoot me with a gun. I'm just gonna get shot with a gun.
Mine's ward. I'm going to use my disappointed dad voice if you try something.
Okay, yeah. So in that context, that's great. Flying is indestructible. Certainly not indestructible.
There's so many now to choose from.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go for like the evergreen ones. Like definitely not power up. Like I don't go to the gym.
Same.
That's a new one. It's really probably.
And it's
I
expensive.
think realistically is trample. Although I will say the format is like slow enough that it's feasible to activate those abilities. I did have early access, and I played like half a draft that I easily could have 7x'd because the deck was so good. But I have a good authority from MTG Baron, Brendan, that
Mhm.
if you're doing Heroes Limited, like it's slow enough that your power ups like will matter.
Oh,
Um,
I need to crack my box and get into it.
Anyways, I think it's trample just because of like my height and weight together. Probably just like if I was running at someone, they just might not stop me.
Your dedication.
Yeah, I'm like, not Fateful Hour, certainly not.
And
Yeah.
last but certainly not least, you arrive on the Mana stage to open the next MagicCon. It's kind of a two-parter.
Yeah.
Where is it held? And what are you saying to welcome everybody?
I mean, it's Atlanta. I live
Mhm.
here currently. I don't have to fly to it. All my favorite people get to come to me. That's awesome.
And we are looking forward to it.
Yes. Um I should like I this is one of the ones that I read and then I didn't spend any time making a thing for it. I just was like, I'll get to it, and then I didn't. I think it's welcome to Atlanta where players play. No, I'm not. I might start. Um, but I think realistically, like it's so along the lines, like it's hot as shit outside.
Yep.
You use the inside as a starting place, and then you go outside just to get to the other inside. Unless you like want to suffer, that's fine. But realistically, like I think it is an incredible melting pot. And maybe the pots aren't all in the same place because like if you want to get to like what's basically Asia, you have to go up to Duluth and that's fine, but there's so much good food up there. Holy shit. I think
Mhm.
I would just be like, hey, everyone, we're going to get food.
Mhm.
Welcome. And then there's good food. I just like welcome food. You've under all of your chairs is a food token. It's a promo for
Mhm.
Atlanta. If you look under your chair, you'll find 4 of them. I
Absolutely.
am not graceful in this moment because I didn't think of it to say anything fun or cool, but I'm just like, I know where the good food is. Please follow me.
That's really the best thing, and it makes me think back to San Diego Comic-Con in 2012 I was at, and I got to hear Anthony Bourdain speak.
Oh, that's pro.
And it was just an iconic moment, but he's talking people are asking him like, "Where's the best food? Where are you gonna eat?" And he's like, "Just follow me."
Yeah.
It's like,
Um,
I'll show you."
it's like kind of like that old, really old picture or became a meme where it's like he's the guy's part of like the bomb defusal team. So if you see
Mhm.
me running, follow me. But I'm
Yep.
like, if you want good food, follow me.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. I don't know. There's just like that chicken sandwich that I posted
Mhm.
from
The
from
food
Java
we ate.
Saga. Motherfucker.
Oh, that thing
God,
looked amazing.
it's Taiwanese food, Taiwanese fried chicken. It's
Mhm.
incredible, and the fries are also phenomenal there.
Oh,
And that's all up on Buford Highway, where
mhm.
it's just like if you are not into it, yes, there is like a a wings place that you can
Mhm.
go to. But outside of it, like there's Taco Bellows, there's a Shaking Crawfish,
Mhm.
there's El Rey del Taco,
Mhm.
there's Java Saga Northern China Eatery is
Mhm.
phenomenal.
I just think back to the
Goo's
Indian
Kitchen
restaurant
is
I
so
went
good.
to, and I'm going blank on the name, and I feel bad because I want to give them a massive shout out
Yeah.
again. But they opened their doors to everyone from the convention,
Mm,
and just every restaurant that we ate at, the people who ran it, all the small ones, the kind of like family owned restaurants, they treated us as members of their family. And that was the best Atlanta way to describe Atlanta that I could think of.
yeah. It's just such a fun place to be and exist in, and then also eat at.
Hmm.
And then it what the biggest bummer about Atlanta is just like Atlanta proper, like where the convention center is, kind of bereft of that
Hmm.
food unless you want to go to like Ted's Montana Grill because Ted Turner was here or
Yeah.
something. But I'm like, realistically, like I have a car. Maybe you
Hmm.
rented a car. Maybe you drove here, but we're going to go 25 minutes out of our way to Buford Highway and you're just going to have the best food you ever ate in your life.
Yep. And I hope that more people take advantage of
Me offering that.
of you offering that, but just the opportunities that are there for
Yeah,
them.
and hey, I understand the Uber out probably expensive, but that's why I'm just gonna like drive the van and like
Mhm.
just like lay down in it.
Lay down,
Just get illegal with it.
climb on top. Don't worry about it. We'll be safe.
Yeah, we like you guys are close, you guys are together, just sit on each other. You lay at the feet across the back row, you lay vertically in between the two seats, then you lay like this, and we got like an H going on in between everything, and we'll be illegal all the way up 400 until we get to the good stuff.
That's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah.
And just got the name of the restaurant we ate at was Amar Indian Cuisine.
Yeah, that place delicious.
Oh my. And talk about just wonderful people. So I will definitely be going back there. And yeah, anyone who wants to follow us, any listeners, we will make sure you get all the good foods.
Yeah, the problem is it's just not walkable. That's the thing.
No. And it's going to be humid.
It's fuck, is it? Well, in the end of
November
November,
shouldn't be too bad.
It'll probably be humid as shit, but it just won't be 95 degrees.
Yeah.
Feel like 107.
Tomorrow's supposed to feel like 110 here. I'm not looking forward to it. Yep.
Yeah, what do we got?
Well, may you stay cool and
90. Oh, it's 97 was the high today. It's 45% chance of rain at 95, so it's just going to be like even more moist than normal and miserable.
it'll be fine.
Yeah,
it'll be absolutely fine. Well, thank you so much, Robert, for joining us tonight. This was a blast, and we're going to do it again at least 2 more times.
Yeah, I'm for it. This was incredible. Thank you for having me on.
No, it's always a pleasure, and it's great to just catch up. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me at SkripMTG on all of the places that I am, which is usually just like TikTok, the other application Instagram, and then the other application YouTube. I did want to say, you said that I have the series, the Spellify and the Moxel, which I have not done in like 2 weeks, because sometimes you do a thing for over every day for like 2.25 years and you're just kind of tired and you want to
take a break.
So I've been doing more shorts types of things and doing some deck techs and stuff. So we're on a little bit of a hiatus because as much as I wish I was, I am not a post-production guy.
I'm the same. I make little silly videos using iMovie that are just me narrating over random things, and it makes me happy, and I'll start doing it, and then something bad will happen in the world or something major will distract everyone, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop now. And
so we will get back to it. It's just recording it, fine. Going to edit it, I'm just like, oh.
I'm hoping this is just going to be hey, the audio all came out good. I'm just going to upload it and say, let's go.
Ship it.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm Flavor Pro Matt. You can find me everywhere as Flavor Pro Matt. And until next time, keep cooking magic. Thank you again, Robert. Thank you, everyone. And for those tuning in, I also want to give a thanks to Cormac Bluestone, who's doing all our music.
Well, yeah.
See you next time.
Bye.